Hey guys, Psychosis here again, once again, after a long while. Bring you another album review, because I like doing these. And today, since I haven't listened to it really, I decided to sit down and listen to my Erra CD. So today, I'm going to be reviewing Erra-Neon, which is also up there, as you can see. But I'll be reviewing this album, Erra-Neon. And yeah, I have the CD, like I said in a previous video. And yeah, I haven't listened to it, so I sat down and listened to all the tracks the other night. And I thought, I haven't made a video, so let's review it. So yeah, starting off with, the album's production's really good. Like, really clean, really sleek, really modern sounding. That's the thing with modern albums. All the sounds are very good, as I've said before. Just wanted to mention that starting off. I always like to talk about the production because I'm a nerd about that. But yeah, it's really good, really modern. Everything works well for the type of sound they have. And if you really like the really clean production, you'll probably like this album because it's really good on that end. Yeah, the sound quality is very good, really loud. A lot of modern albums have really good sound, so it's really loud. So I recommend listening to it a little bit lower on volume if you want to listen to it, because just the way it's recorded, it's just naturally louder. So if you have it really high, it's gonna be a lot. It can be too much. So yeah, the sound's really good. Production's really good. And the music's, yeah, it's onto the music, the actual meat and potatoes of this album. I really like the music. This album's a metalcore album, modern metalcore album. I haven't really listened to Erra very much. I think before this album I listened to Neon. I think there's only one other album I've listened to from Erra, and I really like that album, but that was one of their older ones, like way back when. So I didn't know what to expect with this one, but I really liked it. It was pretty good. Just a really good modern metalcore album. I would put this album more along the lines of progressive metalcore, as it's not just jun 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 all the time. I mean, there is that. There's a dun dun all the parts, but like a lot of other modern metalcore bands, third wave metalcore bands, but just it's just really good though, with the sound nice and loud. It's not gent, but it has that sound. A lot of that lot of genty metalcore-ish sound. It's really where it's really loud and clean, and the chunks have a lot of impact, but it's not really genting, you know. It's just has that sound. That's what I put it as. That's where it all connects. And what surprised me though with this album is it's not as technical as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a little more technical. I just assumed because of the album art. It seemed all like sleek and fancy, with neonish colors, of course, neon pink and stuff. And I thought maybe it will be a little technical. It's not. It has somewhat technical parts, but compared to some of the stuff I listen to, I guess I'm just kind of spoiled on that end, or I've been desensitized. So it just doesn't seem that technical to me. I mean, especially compared to the Artspire album I reviewed, this is like nowhere near that. Yeah, album's pretty good on that end, not as technical. So I will say it's middle ground between being accessible and not. But metalcore is a pretty much more accessible genre. because there are clean choruses on this album. It's not just the growling and screaming. And honestly, though, that seems like there's a lot of cleans on this album, which I'm not complaining. I unpopular opinion, but I do like clean vocals and metalcore, deathcore, and stuff, or just metal in general, as long as they're good, or if I like them. But that's just personal preference. Yeah, there's a lot of clean choruses and clean singing. More like high pitch, kind of. Not like the whiny vocals you'd find in like emo or post hardcore albums, but more like more like you expect to see in a modern metalcore album. So like anything from like Fit for a King, Wage War, Convictions, etc., etc. Just think of a modern metalcore band, and that's the clean vocals would probably be along that vein. The clean choruses, just type growling and stuff like that. Just and just with all dun 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 type riffs and hammer on pull offs, that kind of thing. That's what you expect to see on this album. Yeah, like it was basically the musically, it sounds pretty much what you'd expect to see in a modern metalcore album. I'm not complaining though. I love metalcore, so it hits my sweet spot. I like it, the sound wise. I mean, to be fair though, I'm not as big onto the more modern metalcore bands as the older ones, but I do really like the examples I mentioned: Crystal Lake, Wage War, Fit for a King, Convictions, etc. Cultist, any more modern metalcore band, I probably really like or will sound like that. That's what this album sounds like. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, that's onto the music. I guess complaining wise, I kind of mentioned it. It's kind of minor, but there are a lot of clean vocals on this album, and although I do like it, one complaint I do have with some metalcore albums and bands is the style where the song where it feels like the beginning of the song is like unclean, and then the rest of the song is just mostly just a chorus over and over again. Kind of basic. It's not really the biggest complaint because I do like songs like that, but it does get old really fast. It's good for like a song, but it feels like this album has a lot of that. But yeah, and I really wish they did more solos. There are solos, I forgot to mention, there are solos on this album, and they're very good, in my opinion. But the solos, I'd say, are only on like 2 or 3 songs. I'm just trying to go from what I remember, but the solos are really good, and since metalcore doesn't really have a lot of solos, it's really fitting to see them. It's just fun. Adds something new to the table. Especially if you listen to a lot of music for a long period of time, there's that many solos. It's fun when that solo kicks in and it's like it fits the song perfectly and it sounds so good. I do know for a fact the last song on this album has the 10th song has a solo, and it's just really good. It fits the end of the album. But yeah, I just really wish they would have done more solos, a little more growling at times. But yeah, I really liked that. I really liked this album for the most part. It was really good. It surprised me because I have heard songs, but I haven't listened to this album an entire sitting. So it was fun to listen to it an entire sitting and actually hear it from start to finish. It really adds a whole new perspective on things. So like songs could be better or worse after listening to an album. But honestly, I'd say it was better experience listening to the whole thing from start to finish than just having the song randomly shuffle play on some station I'm listening to. But yeah, that's about the music of Neon and a couple complaints. Honestly, the complaints are pretty minor. There's nothing like really major with this album, minus the fact that it's just little mini things, nitpicks like I have to be in the mood for the type of sound this album has, or amount of choruses, that kind of thing, or not enough solos. That's really honestly it. Or lead riffs. I don't really, not entirely sure which is what it is. I'd say they're solos. But that's up to you to decide if you do decide to listen to this album. But yeah, that's going to be the gist of what I'm talking about this album. There's really not much to talk about for this album. It's just pretty straightforward. It checks in the boxes. The sound's really good. The tone's really good. Production's spot on for the type of sound they were going for. The album art's fun. The disc is super funny though. I don't have it with my case, but it's like the most unmetal looking CD I have in my entire collection at the moment, and it just makes me laugh looking at it. But yeah, that's about it. For a final rating, I'm gonna get this album 8 out of 10. Very good metalcore album, and if you like era or more modern metalcore, you will like this album. And yeah, that's my that's my opinion though. Not for everyone, obviously. That's the thing. There's not everyone will like everything. I didn't even know if I would like this album. We were listening to it yesterday, but yeah, that's going to be my review of Erra-Neon. Solid 8 out of 10. Very good album. Highly recommend. Like I said, there's only a few major complaints, but they just dock it a couple points for being a perfect score. But nothing too big, nothing major. But yeah, that's my review. 8 out of 10. Very good album. And yeah, that's my review of Erra-Neon. I hope you all enjoyed this review. And yeah, and I also enjoy talking about albums in general. If there's any album you would want me to review, just request it in the comments below and I'll get to reviewing it. I just love talking about music. I could just talk about literally every album in existence if I had all the time in the world and it was given the time. But I don't have all the time, so I just make videos whenever. And yeah, just let me know what you think. Any constructive criticism is very helpful. And I hope you all enjoy this video, like I said, and have a great day. Goodbye.